Episode 45, the Halloween special. And today, I did dress up. Because last year I dressed up as Kylo Ren, so we're going for another dress up this year. And yeah, I dressed up as a cop. If you guys can see the freaking badge, this looks legit off cam, by the way. This all looks super legit. Like I said in the beginning, episode 45. It's our Halloween episode. We're gonna get straight into it. So, Halloween Kills, guys. If you have not seen the movie, please come back and watch us at a later time. We will be talking spoilers. I actually went and saw it in theaters, and you saw it on Peacock. You saw it on Peacock?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Justin saw it on Peacock. I don't think the experience matters. And whether you watch this in theaters or not, or at home, I don't think it matters. To me, like I said, guys, we're going to talk spoilers, so just be aware of that. But to me, this movie really wasn't that good. It wasn't as good as the 2018 movie. It seems like a lot of time has actually passed in real life between the first one and the second one. I know for sure COVID really delayed this movie, so maybe that had something to do with that. But yeah, so Halloween Kills, the sequel to the 2018 one, it is definitely like a rushed. I felt like it was a super rushed product, bro. They really rushed the fuck out of it. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but it really feels like it's just like a bridge. I had to pull my handcuffs out because someone's getting arrested today. It really does feel like a bridge for the third movie, and they rushed the fuck out of it, dude. For real, you could tell the whole movie was just. I said this in my TikTok review. It really does feel like a long post-credit scene from the last movie. And
yeah, kinda, I guess. They didn't really go into any character development, no.
He does a lot of killing, like the title suggests. That was probably the most brutal I've ever seen Michael Myers. There was a part, so one of my favorite parts of the movie was when they did the 1978 callback. I couldn't tell the difference, bro. And
I said that when I watched it too. Is I think they did a really good job of making it look how the original looked, the way they shot it and shit. I fucked with it. They
CGI Dr. Loomis in there. You couldn't tell it was CGI. Could you?
I thought they just got another fat white dude.
But that's literally the Dr. Loomis from the original movie. Isn't that crazy?
Is it?
Yeah, it looked like he was there. Technology's getting that good. It looked like Dr. Loomis was there. That was crazy. So yeah, the 1978 callback was great. I like that one. Besides that, there's not really I'm not trying to talk shit either, because I get it. A lot of people worked hard on this film, right? A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into this. So I don't want to completely shit on the movie, but yeah, one of the things that I didn't like was, so before they rebooted this, they were making comments about hey, we're gonna make everything after movie one not canon in this universe, because we kind of want to get away from the sibling aspect and we want to get away from the supernatural aspect. Then when this movie ends, it seems like they're going back to the supernatural aspect. There's a whole mob at the end, right? So the whole mob aspect was kind of a shaky thing for me, because I get where they were going with it, right? I think it was in Halloween 4 they kind of touched on it too. There was a little mini mob scene, and I believe it was number 4 or 5. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I believe it's 4 though. So the mob scene was oh, cool, they're trying something new. Hey, what are the consequences of this? There has to be consequences for a whole town of people chasing this guy out of a window, basically. What were the consequences for that? It kind of felt like that whole plot was just abandoned. There wasn't really any weight to it. You guys literally just chased this guy out of a window who wasn't Michael Myers. Oh, he's dead. We just gotta get the pitchforks. We gotta go. Michael's, that's kind of what it was like, Justin. And when she tried to say
yeah,
hey,
I didn't know though. What was the point of that? That I feel like that whole subplot had no point whatsoever.
I thought it was going towards this whole, hey, the town is mad that Michael keeps killing. They're kind of sick of this shadow being there.
What'd that have to do with the guy though?
You mean the
fat fucking?
Because apparently, you remember in the first movie when Michael breaks out of the bus, that guy was one of the patients that escaped out of that bus. Remember, there was like a news report that had said that.
Yeah. I know. I'm saying like, what was the point of shooting that scene of him running through the hospital and them thinking it was him and them pressuring him into that room, and then he jumps out of the fucking window and kills himself? They didn't have anything to do with the movie.
Yeah, you're right.
In my opinion, at least.
If it did, it's kind of basically what I just said, but like they kind of abandoned that plot line. Like, what was that even for? Now, one of the things I also didn't like was they didn't make the original number 2 part of this universe's canon, right? Because Laurie's at a hospital like the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
But she's literally in a hospital this whole movie. She's barely in the movie. She's in the movie, but she's barely in the movie, right? And Jamie Lee Curtis was like, hey, we're going to give screen time to the other Strode women. I get it. Not hating on that part. It's just like, it didn't feel... Like, remember when she just got stabbed in the stomach? So she gets up and starts, like, roaming the halls, and, like, people are like, evil dies tonight! You know, like, what they had time to come up with the slogan, too?
So that was actually the only really bad thing I thought the movie had. Because overall, I thought it was like a meh.
It was a fun
movie,
watch.
But I thought that it had, like, some actual good parts in the movie, but the majority of my complaints were just like that type of shit, like the corny one-liners and like the acting was fucking terrible.
It was dog water, bro.
Yeah,
it was terrible. Sorry, I mean, I know, and they had Anthony Michael Hall in it too. He's a famous actor, well-known actor, bro, from like the 80s. He's done other movies too, but like, you know who I'm talking about, right? Like I think he was in like 16 those type of movies, you know, like the Breakfast Club type of movies.
Mm-hmm.
He is in Breakfast Club, actually. So like the town people had enough time to come up with the slogan, evil die, you know, and like, so the only part to me that was entertaining was just the killing. Like the way he did it, and like, remember that girl with the nurse, like she was dressed up as a nurse?
Yeah.
And like the door hits her, like that's, sorry, funny. We're gonna, so like, because the movie spent time like introducing you the legacy characters, like, you know, Tommy Doyle and like the other people.
Is he the bald white guy?
Yeah, the one that was like the main person.
Yeah, he was the worst person in the movie, in my opinion. I fucking hated that guy.
And like that sucks because like he actually is a really good actor. To me, he is Michael Anthony Hall. And then like, you're right, like this movie just like, he was like on some weird like, I'm gonna take charge, you know, like it was like, get the pitchforks. Like when the cops are trying to talk to everybody in the hospital,
mm-hmm.
and like he interrupts them and like takes charge.
Yeah,
it dies tonight, and everybody's all screaming, and he's like, we're gonna take this guy out. It's like, are you he seemed coked up, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, bro, like that, like and so
it was from beginning to end, bro. There was no avoiding it. The opening scene when the fucking kid walks up on the dead up fucking cop who's been bleeding out of his neck for Lord knows how long,
and he ends up living,
and then he's like, he's still alive. I need to be the one to kill him. Yeah, dude, that's what you're gonna fucking say on your deathbed.
Yeah, you're on your dying breath. And I get it. I thought it was cool where like they did in the 1978 callback, the little kid, Tommy. I think it was not Tommy Doyle. I forgot the name.
It wasn't
the one that was laying on the pavement and Michael Myers is walking up.
He was the dude at the bar with those two women.
Yeah. That was cool. I like that. Actually, kind of scared me. I'm like, oh damn, that's actually kind of scary. The way Michael kills in this movie, like I get it. They were trying to do different stuff, like with the light bulb and the way he was just putting hella knives into that girl's husband's. Like,
bro, that scene was fucked.
Yeah, that was hella like that was crazy to watch because I'm like, damn, can you imagine just sitting there, you're barely living, and like you're seeing. Like, you don't know what the fuck that is. Just putting hella knife. Like, that's what... Little John and Big John were kind of... For me, I thought that was a funny part of the movie. Did you like Little...
Too, yeah.
Yeah, because... he was the guy from Mad TV.
Yeah,
like, that was funny.
We know him as that, so it's kind of hard to look at him in a different way in a horror movie, but...
He was like when they were scaring the kids outside and the kids played the prank on them and all that shit to me was good. I like Little John and Big John. I like the killing. The killing was different from any Halloween movie I've seen, even though some of the kills were like, okay, seriously, the door hits her and she... But overall, it didn't really add...
I thought that was really fucking stupid, dude.
Yeah,
I thought it was cool because, like, just seeing that happen, you're like, oh shit. But like,
It's like
it just kind of takes you. I feel like for a good horror,
it took me out of the movie for a second.
Because you're like, wait, that there's no way that ever happens in real life.
Also, remember when Michael's chasing that girl through the woods and she's hiding under like a tree and then he ends up disappearing? So when the other people get to that scene, Michael has had enough time to come back, put pumpkins on everybody's head, and like decorate them around the little carousel. Michael had enough time to do that. Like he just had enough time to like carve out pumpkins and like that's what I'm saying. Like I know it's like little nitpicky stuff, but like that kind of took me out of the movie. I'm literally watching it. I'm like, bro, Michael had enough time. His old ass had enough time to come back.
And then when they find her in the woods and they get her into the car and they're like talking and stuff, she's talking normal as fuck. She's having a conversation with these people, and literally the very next scene, they carry her into the ER and she's in like a wheelchair and shit, and she's like flailing and moaning, and I'm like, dude, you were just perfectly fine in the car.
Yeah, that's fucking.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's what you're talking about, it being rushed, but
well, it felt rushed, but because like every plot line they tried to do, just abandon.
yeah.
Now,
and
bro,
none of it really made any sense, man.
You're right. One of the things I kind of like was laughing at is when Laurie says, "The only way Michael can die is if I die with him." You just literally gave up the plot for number 3. That's what's gonna happen, man.
Does she say that?
Yeah, she says that in the movie. She says the only way he dies is if I die with him. Like almost like a Harry Potter Horcrux type thing, which is like, bro, you literally just said the plot to the third movie now. Now I know what the plot to the third movie is. Michael only dies when Laurie kills him, and she goes with them. So if they're not siblings, why is that a thing then? Why would that connection be there if they're not even siblings? Like that makes no sense, bro. I also think that for the third movie, the mask is going to be haunted. So they kind of touched on that in Season of the Witch. Have you seen Season of the Witch?
No, I haven't seen any Halloween movies besides
the first 2. I've watched the first 2 with you, I think.
Maybe.
Well, regardless, Season of the Witch is the only Halloween movie without Michael Myers, and it's about the Shamrock like costume company, like they make masks.
Oh no, I think me and you started on that, and we like stopped because like after the first like 10 minutes, you realize it's not an actual Halloween movie.
Yeah, that's what the John Carpenter wanted to do originally with Halloween. Like he wanted every Halloween movie to be a different thing. It was like an anthology. But then what ended up happening was Michael became so popular in number 1, the studio kind of like made number 2 him. Then they gave him number 3. It didn't do as good as number 1 and 2. So number 4, they reverted back to Michael. But yeah, like the mask, like this guy makes bad mask and all the kids are going to start wearing it and do crazy things and, you know, do bad things. And I think that's where they're going for number 3. So if that is like, bro, you guys said no supernatural though. So I don't know. I just feel like
just the fact that the second movie even exists throws that all out the window. In the first movie, he's stuck in a fucking locked, burning bunker.
Yeah, because wasn't in the beginning of number 1, like the guy's holding up the mask and like all the other patients are going crazy. Like that kind of indicated to me the mask had something to do with it. Because when he gets killed at the end, he like puts the mask back on before they start beating his ass. Like I think the mask has something to do with why he didn't die.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they're trying to say that they're not trying to do supernatural stuff,
there's
no way they
don't
can
say it
with
at
what
all.
they've already done.
Like if you're not trying to do supernatural stuff, just don't say it at all. So that way you're not going back on what you just said. But yeah, so I give it a 4 out of 10. Fun watch, good kills. Yeah. So the next thing on tonight's schedule, we got the Batman trailer. The Batman trailer, guys, it was phenomenal. I loved it. I absolutely loved the Batman trailer, dude. Like that, I don't want to be premature here and like try to like, you know, gas this up, but I think it might be the best trailer I've ever seen for a comic book movie. Sorry. I mean, can you remember a comic book movie trailer that has been this good? That's what makes me worried about this movie now, because the trailer is so good. Is it going to live up to the hype? And I think it will. I don't
remember comic book trailers at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do, and I don't remember them being this good. Like, this trailer shows you, like, bro, Batman is not fucking around. Like, Batman is here to, like, stomp people's heads in. If you have seen The Long Halloween, or if you've read that comic book series, The Long Halloween, this whole trailer screams it, because, like, Catwoman's in it. I think when he's at the prison visiting that prisoner, it could be Paul Dano's Riddler, or it could be the Calendar Man, which if you've seen The Long Halloween, Batman uses the Calendar Man to like help him figure out who's been killing all these people, so there's that one. The trailer at the end, bro, when like Penguin's like coming out of like the fire and he's like, I got you. I got you, and then Penguin's car ends up flipping because Batman's car comes up from behind, and like Penguin's just laying there as like Batman's walking towards his car with the fire. That is beautiful cinematography, dude. That is so beautiful to see, like out. Or even in that hallway scene when he's walking and they're shooting the machine guns and it's just like the flash of like the machine gun.
That was my favorite part.
I'm pretty sure they had some Joker henchmen in there when like those guys had like clown makeup and shit. But yeah, so I'm just super excited because I'm a huge Batman fan. I love the direction this movie's going. The director Matt Reeves, he made the Planet of the Apes movies that I love so much. So I trust where this is going. It looks like it might be darker than what Christopher Nolan's Batman was, and if it is, like, I'm all for it, dude. Batman needs to be dark. Batman doesn't need to be like Iron Man and Captain America where there's like funny campy moments and everybody's like kumbaya. Like, no, Batman, we don't got time for that, bro. Like, we got real things to handle, and not that those guys don't have real things to handle, but you know what I mean. I gave that trailer a good review. I'm very, very excited for it, and I'm hoping that this movie does not let me down, and I don't think it will. Catwoman looked really good. They didn't really show too much of Paul Dano's Riddler, but I think they're saving it for the movie. I think he's going to do amazing. The guy they picked for Jim Gordon looks good. Robert Pattinson's kind of surprising me because I wasn't really too keen on that choice when they first announced it, but like now I'm seeing it, I'm like, okay. We're in like year 2 of Batman. He's angry, he's younger, it's ready to go, dude. So yeah, excited for that. So before I end off tonight's show, I did an episode with Tessa a few weeks back where we talked about Gabby Petito going missing. She eventually was found dead. We talked about missing white woman syndrome. We talked about the case. We talked about the boyfriend at the time who was suspected of killing her, Brian Laundrie. At the time of that episode, he wasn't found yet. So, but yeah, so today the FBI confirmed that remains that they found in that reserve in Florida were his. And there's nothing so to me it's like, okay, the parents call and say we're going to go search one of his trails that he was known to go through, which I guess that part where they found his remains in was closed off to the public a couple weeks ago. But there's a few people who have posted pictures like debating that, saying like, hey, when I was there the water level wasn't high, this is what it looked like. So yeah, the parents go, they search the trail, then items of his are found, then his remains are found. So the FBI searched for like 5 weeks, couldn't find anything. The parents go, all of a sudden 30 minutes later, remains are found. To me, the parents helped. There's like, if you're looking at this with logical eyes, and we're not going to say that this isn't logical, we look at this with logical eyes, the parents helped. They helped in some fashion. They knew where he was at. They told him to go there because there's no way they just go to this random trail and boom, there's items, and maybe they planted the items. Who knows, bro? Like, this case has gained so much national attention. And, a lot of people didn't like that it gained national attention. You had Dog the Bounty Hunter trying to get this guy. It's like, bro, this became like a circus real quick, and I feel bad for Gabby's parents because not only did they have to deal with people saying missing white woman syndrome, and they had to deal with Dog the Bounty Hunter and all these like news outlets just like, it just sucks. I mean, I couldn't imagine losing my daughter to this. There's people online who are like, well, she shouldn't put hands on people. True, but doesn't mean she deserved to die. Doesn't mean her case is more important than other people who are missing, but it doesn't mean that we're going to use Gabby to like make that a thing. Like, this whole thing was just botched from day one. The police, they if they would have just took him in that day, or I don't know if they can legally, but it just sucks because it feels like they botched it. Now his remains are dead. He's found dead, obviously. It says skeletal remains, so he had to have died like weeks ago. And I don't know that area too well, so I don't know if like the swamp makes it where you decompose quicker. I don't know if it like makes it to where you decompose faster or like longer. I don't know. Like they said there was alligators in there too. So the whole thing is just garbage as fuck, bro. It is like super garbage as fuck. Like if the parents don't get in some trouble for this, like I know the FBI can find proof that they helped. There has to be some form of proof, and like Brian didn't get to face justice. Yeah, he's dead, so he doesn't get to like breathe or be alive anymore. But it's like justice wasn't really served. I don't know if we're ever gonna know what truly happened to Gabby. Some people will have to be okay with that. You know what I mean? Like some people might not be cool with what happened, and I don't think anybody should be. Like it's just this whole thing. People need to start being held accountable, bro. Like parents that are involved in this kind of stuff, law enforcement, FBI, like people need to start being held accountable, dude. Or else this kind of stuff is going to continue to happen. And yeah. Before I go tonight, guys, be safe on Halloween. I know that, you know, the last couple years it's been like, well, especially where I live, it's been like fucking hella raining and, you know, the whole COVID stuff. So make sure, you know, you guys are safe. If you guys go trick-or-treating with your kids, make sure, you know, I wish everybody to have like a safe Halloween this year. Before I go though, I know I keep saying before I go, I do want to touch on the Batman trailer a little bit more. One of the things that I'm super excited for in the Batman trailer that I saw was that I feel that if you've seen Paul Dano act before, like this guy's amazing. And not only in the Prisoners movie, but the movie he did with Daniel Day-Lewis. I feel like Paul Dano's Riddler is going to be one of those villains that we say, oh, it's like Heath Ledger's Joker. We're going to say Paul Dano's Riddler. I think that's what it's going to be like. I am so pumped for it because the comic book movie world is missing good villains. It really is. Like, we are missing some good ass villains, bro. Even in Marvel too, like I just feel like there isn't enough like good villains. Like we need somebody who, the Riddler doesn't even have to be like a big brooding force. Like sometimes evil comes from people who look normal, who look nerdy or look like your average, like, you know, your average American or your average person from around the world. Like evil doesn't always come in like a big brooding like clown face or even like people like Bane. Like, and that's what I'm excited for because they finally got somebody who like is an actual good actor. I don't know exactly where they're taking this Riddler role to. Sorry. Because like the Jim Carrey Riddler was more like play, like, you know, I'm gonna give you puzzles and like the showmanship of like the suit and stuff. They might not even give this Riddler that suit with the question mark and the cane. Like it just might be a whole different thing, and I'm super excited for it. So yeah, if you guys like the Batman trailer too, comment below. Yeah, to start up some conversation. So yeah, okay guys, that is it for the night, and until next time, stay safe.